The Hastings Stadium in beautiful Exhibition Park in the Royal City for a great afternoon game between the visiting Barrie Baycats and your Guelph Royals. The starting lineup will be provided shortly, but in the meantime, we invite you to grab a hot dog combo, a bag of popcorn, or a drink from our concession stand located by the front gate of Hastings Stadium. Also check out the beer garden down the third base line for refreshing Wellington Brewery beer.
Game action in just a few minutes from David E. Hastings Stadium. First, you'll hear the voice of Bruce Barker on PA. Enjoy the game.
Lineup for the visiting Barrie Baycats. Leading off, the left fielder, number 99, 95, that is Noel McGarry Doyle. Center fielder, number 9, Denise Ejo. The shortstop, number 26, Adam Ogg. The second baseman, number 7, Royce Endo. Third baseman, number 20, Victor Platz. First base, number 33, Domenico Mora. Right fielder, number 34, James Anderson. Catching, number 36, Dylan Shepard. Designated hitter, number 14, Owen Jansen. And pitching for Barrie, number 22, Jeffrey Nunez. Here are the umpires for today's game. At first base, Mike Guelph. At third base, John Thompson. And behind home plate, crew chief Stephen Gomes. Shortstop, number 5, Lando LaRue. Batting second, the left fielder, number 28, Ethan Hammond. Batting third, the center fielder, number 9, J.D. Williams. Batting cleanup is in the hitter, number 24, Justin Incersano. Right fielder, number 17, Tristan Pompey. First base, number 22, Noah Roberts. Catching for your Royals this afternoon, number 35, Evan Ash. Third baseman, number 4, Darius Bolas. At second base, number 3, Corey Morrow. And pitching for your Royals this afternoon, number 12, Sandy Baez.
We'll have the anthems in a moment, and then first pitch from David E. Hastings Stadium here in Guelph, Ontario. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you. And Julius, right before we get started, should be a good pitching matchup today as former Royal Jeffrey Nunez takes the mound for the Baycats.
Yeah, it should be very exciting. I'm sure he's roaring to get at his former club, the Guelph Royals, and we're also seeing Sandy Baez on the mound here for the Guelph Royals, former minor leaguer. Yeah, very excited to see this pitching matchup here today in Guelph.
All right, national anthem is next, and then first pitch from David E. Hastings Stadium right after this.
To the nearest field attendant, and you'll receive a free freezy from concession. Thank you and enjoy today's game.
All right, let's get started. First inning brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe County for over a decade. And Simcoe region as well, as that's what it actually says on the read. Great start from the broadcast booth. Let's hope for a better start from the Baycats than from us as we get going here today. First pitch from Sandy Baez, the Guelph Royals starter, is up and away to Noel McGarry Doyle. We'll give you the lineup for the Baycats. It'll be Noel, then Canis Ejo, then Adam Ott, shortstop, Royce Ando, the second baseman, Victor Plaus, the third baseman, Dom Morea, the first baseman, then James Anderson in right field, Dylan Shepard, the catcher, and Owen Jansen, the designated hitter. Pitch up and away from Baez. This is the first time we're seeing Baez against the Barrie Baycats. Royals fans familiar with both starters tonight. We'll get into that a little bit more. And that's outside again, ball 3 to Noel. And you do not want to let Noel McGarry Doyle on base if you're the Guelph Royals early on in the game. He's got a lot of speed up there at the top of the order. Righty pitcher against a lefty hitter. That pitch is a strike, 3-1. First pitch that is in the zone so far from Baez today. Three-one is hit a long way to left field, but very foul. I think that's a sound effect.
Yeah, we saw that in Hamilton the other day.
I was fooled in Hamilton. I genuinely, the one in Hamilton got me. 3-2 to Noel. That's it up the middle. Moving over is J.D. Williams to his left. Gets under it, and he makes the catch. One away. The defense for the Guelph Royals goes as this.
Ethan Hammond in left field for the Guelph Royals today. J.D. Williams in center. Tristan Pompey in right. On the infield is Darius Barless at third. Brandon LaRue at shortstop. Corey Morrow at second base. Noah Roberts at first. And behind the plate catching Sandy Baez is Evan Ash.
So mostly the same as what we saw Thursday night at Vintage Throne Stadium, except with a different catcher. We saw Tony Herenque behind the plate Thursday night. Now we get our second look at Canis Ejo, who drops down a bunt third base side. It's a really good one. Throw on from third is in time, though. That's Morrow over there at third. 2 away.
Yeah, that was a very well-placed bunt there by Ejo, but I'm not sure he got out of the box very well on his way to first base. A nice play there by Barless.
So now here's Thursday's hero in the Baycats' 10-2 win against the Royals, Adam Ott, and he really had a breakout game. He's been with the Baycats for a year and then this season as well, but we really got introduced to what Adam Ott can do in that Thursday game. He had a big home run, another extra base hit. He is just seeing the ball really well right now. First pitch in there, strike 1 to Ott.
I mentioned this on Thursday, and I talked a little bit about it with Josh Matlow before the game. His game on Thursday was very much a confidence booster. And Matlow said he could very well be the best player on this team, and now that he's got this confidence, he's really showing it.
Big swing and a miss, 0-2 now. We saw Odd last year deal with a few injuries, kept him around first base and DH. This year, though, he's been playing all around the diamond. We've seen him at second, third, and now shortstop. First time this year we're seeing him at shortstop. Here's the 0-2. And he got him. A 1-2 free inning for Sandy Baez on the mound. We'll take a break. When we come back, Guelph Royals will take to the batter's box. You're listening to Baycats Radio, exclusively on Baycats TV.
the shortstop, number 5, Brando LaRue.
Well, you heard it from the public address announcer. Brando LaRue will lead things off for the Royals. It'll be LaRue playing shortstop, then Ethan Hammond, the left fielder, J.D. Williams at center field batting third, then Justin Interessano, the DH, batting fourth. Tristan Pompey, the right fielder, fifth. Noah Roberts at first base, sixth. Evan Ash, the catcher, seventh. Former Baycat Darius Barlas batting eighth, and Corey Morrow batting ninth, the second baseman. First pitch from Jeffrey Nunez on the mound is inside to LaRue. And Julius, Royals fans very familiar with Jeffrey Nunez. He pitched quite a bit for them last year, but now they get to see him in an opposing jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. He pitched for the Royals a bit last year and as well as in the playoffs for a couple appearances. And his first start as a Baycat earlier this year, a bit of a rough start, but he managed to get through 4 innings. And now I think he's very much roaring to get at his former squad.
Second pitch of the at-bat was a ball. Third one was fouled straight back. Regular season last year went very well for Jeffrey. Playoffs, not so much. In the regular season, though, he went 2-0 with a 3.13 ERA across more than 2 starts. Here's the 2-1, and that is hit on the ground, chopped really. Fielded at second base by Ando, throws to Maria at first base, and that's the first out. Let's give you the defense for the Barrie Baycats.
In the field for the Barrie Baycats today, Noel McGarry Doyle in left field, Kenise Ejo in center, James Anderson in right. Victor Plaz gets his first start as a Baycat at third base, Adam Ott at short, Roy Sando at second, Dom Maria at first, and catching Jeffrey Nunez is Dylan Shepard.
And we should mention, by the way, on Thursday night, Starlin Rodriguez on his wrist area looked really bad, but it ended up just being a bruise. He'll be out for a little bit, but not long term, which is very good news for both Starlin and the ball club. That is crushed to right field by Ethan Hammond. Moving over is Anderson to his left, getting under it, and he'll make the catch. He kind of died at the warning track a little bit. And there's 2 away.
Center fielder, number 9, J.D. Williams.
You mentioned Starlin Rodriguez. Rodriguez made the trip today with the Baycats. He looked to be just okay. There wasn't any wrap on his arm or anything, but like you said, he might be out for a little bit just as a precaution.
Well, you don't want to make things worse, especially with so many little bones and muscles in that area, by coming back into action too early when it's early in the season. Rodriguez is such an important player for the Baycats. Speaking of important outfielders, here's J.D. Williams for the Royals. Last season, the big headline ad for the Royals was Dalton Pompey. First pitch is a strike to Williams. But the outfielder that kind of sold the show was J.D. Williams. Came in, played very, very well. Good speed, good power at the top of the order. That's a great combination. Plays good defense as well. That pitch is a strike. Got some reactions from the crowd. Now 0-2. Pitch from Nunez, and he got him upstairs in the zone. And it's a 1-2-3 inning on both sides. As we head to the second, there is no score. You're listening to Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV. Welcome back. Top of the second inning. Second inning brought to you by Wingin' It Restaurants, the great taste of adventure. Royce Ando will lead things off, then Victor Plaz and Dom Maria. Still no score here after 1 at David E. Hastings Stadium. First inning went by very fast, a 1-2-3 inning on both sides. So now we get to see another look at Sandy Baez for the first time from the Baycats' perspective. First pitch from Baez inside to Ando. Ando's been all around the batting order so far this season. He's been mostly toward the top, but now today in the middle, batting in the cleanup spot. 1-0 to Ando. Baez takes a deep breath, now comes home, righty-righty. That's hit to left field and through for a base hit on the ground. First base hit for either team today goes to Royce Ando. The Baycats have a base runner to lead off the second inning.
That's really great to see from Royce Ando. Had a really tough game in Hamilton last Sunday. He had a golden sombrero with 4 strikeouts, and he had a great first couple games of the year, and then struggled his last couple, including that game in Hamilton. So really great to see him start off on a good foot here.
Someone else who's trying to start off on the right foot is Victor Plaus. First time in the batting order from the start of the game for the Baycats, and he wings at the first pitch, hits to right field. Moving over and moving in is Pompey at right field. One away.
Number 33, Domenico Morea.
And now it'll be Dom Morea with 1 on, 1 out. We saw a couple of first basemen in Thursday's game. We saw Josh Tibbetts for most of it, and then later in the game, Plaus came in as a defensive replacement. We thought we were going to see Morea, but they were saving him for today. First pitch, a ball to Dom.
Yeah, I believe this is Dom's first start of this season, so really looking to make a name for himself to solidify himself in this lineup.
Competing with Josh Tibbetts for a more everyday job. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. Might have got just a piece of it for a foul tip. Either way, 1-1. Morea's got good power. We didn't get to see too much of it last year because he got injured pretty early on in the year. But the Baycats are high on this young first baseman. Facing off against the righty Baez, the lefty hitter. Pitch is way outside, 2-1. Good crowd here at David E. Hastings Stadium. A lot of people right behind the plate, and then people in lawn chairs on each side. Whether you like the view from the stands or from the lawn chairs on the side, bring your dog maybe. You have options here. Swing and a miss from Morea, 2-2. And the weather, it's gray in the sky, but there's no rain at the moment. There's also no humidity, which is a nice change from what we've seen earlier this week, at least in the Simcoe area where it was really humid pretty much all last week. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. And that's outside. It'll be full to Morea, 3-2.
You mentioned it's a bit of an overcast here today, but sun peeking its way through here and there throughout the day. This is my first time at this ballpark, and there's a lot of foul territory, but no fences down either line.
Yeah, you got to have your heads up if you're going to be down the lines here. Here's the 3-2 from Baez. Runner goes, and it's fouled straight back. And you're not someone who brings the glove to the ball field, and I'm going to keep bugging you about this all year because you're wrong about it. You would have to bring your glove if you're seated first or third base line here.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, if
you're a former ball player.
If you're keeping your head up, it wouldn't be a big deal. I mean, I can catch with a bare hand. I did all the time. I would do my pregame warm-up throws with no gloves on some occasions.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Do you have video of that?
I don't.
Okay, well.
I mean, I can.
And that is strike 3 to Morea. Morea doesn't love it. Throw went to first afterwards, but Ando back in time.
Number 34, James Anderson.
So now here's James Anderson. Anderson did not start Thursday's game, but he came in the early innings after Rodriguez got hit on the hand. So now Anderson back in the starting lineup. He's been a really versatile guy over these last few years. This year playing more outfield because of the catching depth the team has really solidified this year. As that's in the dirt, gets away briefly from the catcher Evan Ash, but he's got it blocked in front of him. Runner stays at first. Baycats have so many catchers now, they don't really need James Anderson behind the plate nearly as much as he's been the last couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. This team really boasts some defensive versatility. I think you mentioned in a previous broadcast about 7 guys on this roster that can play catcher.
1-0 is popped up really high. Ash will watch it hit the roof right behind and to our left. Now, when I said the weather about 4 or 5 minutes ago, I would have said probably unlikely we see rain. But the way the wind's coming in now, I think I would probably change my mind. I think we have a decent chance of a little bit of rain today.
Yeah, the wind's kind of making it a little bit chillier. I mean, you can kind of get a sense that something might be coming here later in the day, but the sun manages to peek its way through here and there.
1-1 to James Anderson. Runner Ando goes. This one's on the ground to third. Fielded nicely at third base by Darius Barless. Throws it across the diamond and gets the out. A leadoff single, but nothing more for the Barrie Baycats. As we head to the bottom of the second inning on Baycats TV, you're listening to Baycats Radio. Welcome back. Bottom of the second inning. It'll be Justin and Terrasano leading things off for the Guelph Royals. On Saturday, June 10th at 4 p.m., it's Junior Baycats Day at the ballpark with the support and partnership of Rock 95, Cool FM, and Barrie 360. Family fun will be taken to a whole new level. Jeffrey Nunez back out there on the hill. Looked good in the first inning, a 1-2-3. Guelph Royals, by the way, managed by Dino Ramel. Paul Ante is the coach. Sean Riley, I believe, is listed as an assistant coach this year as well. First pitch of ball to Interessano. Riley, of course, a longtime IBL star, one of the most recognizable players in the history of the league. 1-0 is down low, 2-0. Defense playing straight up normal shift as the 2-0 is in there right in the middle for a strike, 2-1. Very loud, very firm strike calls from the home plate umpire. So that's fouled back. We've got Stephen Domes behind the plate with Mike Guthrow at first. John Thompson is the third base umpire today.
The ball is to the backstop off the glove of Shepard.
Excuse me, I was looking down at my notes. Thank you for the correction.
McGarry Doyle playing a little bit shallow in left field with the left-hander and Terrasano up.
Here's the 3-1. That's way up high. As Interessano flips the bat back to the dugout. First base runner for the Royals today. And now here's Tristan Pompey for the first time today. We saw Tristan in his first at-bat at Vintage Throne Stadium on Thursday. Hit a big home run to left field in the first inning of that game. That would be one of only 2 runs the Royals got all across the evening. Lefty hitter against the righty pitcher Nunez. Runner not going. First pitch outside to Pompey. And we saw with that swing that Pompey's got some pop in the bat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he played at the University of Kentucky in the SEC in his college career.
Outside, 2-0.
By the way, the Wildcats winning their first game of the regional yesterday against Ball State. And to be playing in a major conference, especially in the SEC, it just shows how much talent that this guy has.
Made it to AAA in the minor league baseball system. That's a strike, 2-1.
And that was with the Miami Marlins, I believe.
I wonder if he was ever teammates with Juan Benitez, who was also in the Marlins organization at one point.
That'd be a great question to ask either of them.
2 balls, 1 strike to Tristan Pompey. And that's up and in. Count 3-1, and Nunez in his old home park struggling to find his command this inning. Already 1 walk and now down 3-1 to Tristan Pompey. Kicks, comes home. And that's down in, ball 4. 2 straight walks for Nunez to open up the inning after a quick first.
The first baseman, number 22, Noah Roberts.
So now here's Roberts. Roberts started slow in the game on Thursday with a ground ball double play and then a fly out to left, and then he had a single in the 6th, and then he walked in the final inning of the game.
That single he had in the game on Thursday got him an RBI.
Shows bunt, pulls it back. Runner at second, and Terrasano was putting pressure on the catcher, Dylan Shepard. Shepard catching his first game in the starting lineup this year. We've mostly seen Tyler Plumpton or Josh Cote. Again, showing bunt, this time gets it off, pops it up. Shepard gets it on a bounce, throws on to first. It'll advance the runners, and Terrasano to third, Pompey to second, but Roberts is out. And that'll bring up Shepard's counterpart, Evan Ash. Now, there's definitely a catcher competition in Guelph early this season because there's a few guys on the roster. We saw Tony Herenque on Thursday, Evan Ash today. Herenque really impressed us on Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with his defense. Made some really good blocks. He showed he has a great arm.
First pitch up and in, Evan Ash. Another first pitch ball from Jeffrey Nunez.
He was throwing some backside pickoffs after pitches, and it was very impressive.
Wholeheartedly agree with that. 1-0, swung on, and a foul tip into the glove, 1-1. Ash and then Darius Barless and Corey Morrow. Swing and a miss, upstairs in the zone, 1-2. I'm going to glance into the press box and try to get the confirmation to a question we asked yesterday. Corey Morrow and Connor Morrow, related, right? Yes, brothers. That's what we assumed on Thursday night. So, yes, Corey and Connor are brothers. We were right. Here's the 1-2, up high. Connor Morrow, a former Baycat, very good ball player. And Corey Morrow's really good as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Connor Morrow.
Here's the 2-2, and that is up and in, ball 3.
Like you mentioned, Connor Morrow, former Baycat, also played, another guy who's played Division I baseball as well.
You heard the cheer from the crowd after that last ball. Now another full count for Nunez, 3-2, and that is ball 4, his third walk of the inning, and the bases are loaded with only 1 out, all on walks. And now Darius Barless with a big moment for him personally against his former team. Played with the Baycats in 2020 after Guelph withdrew from the season. The other teams were able to go around and pick up a couple of the players for a temporary basis during that COVID 2021 season. And Barless played with the Baycats a little bit across that year, returned to the Royals in 2022, and now facing his former team and former teammate, Nunez, on the hill.
It's a really stressful situation for Nunez, especially when, not only when the bases are loaded, but when you've put them all on with free passes. That's a ton of stress on a pitcher.
And it's a lot of pitches to throw early in a game. That's up and away.
Yeah, once the walks start coming, it really adds up quickly in a pitch count.
Count 1 ball and no strikes to Darius Barless.
Because he's probably had about 25 pitches on the inning so far.
There's a strike to even it up at 1. A very, very different second inning to the first inning we saw from Nunez, which was a 1-2-3 ground out, fly out, strikeout. Sure could use a strikeout here. Facing 8 and 9 in the order. First, Barless at 8. Ball's down low, 2-1. Nunez ready on the hill, kicks, fires, and it's outside. And another 3-ball, 1-strike count. And with the bases loaded already on walks, he's now in danger of walking a run in.
Dylan Shepard really tried to frame that pitch into the zone, but home plate umpire not seeing it that way.
That's line to right. That's a base hit, and it might score more than one. Interessano scores. Pompey scores. Runner to third, that's Evan Ash. Barless with a 2 RBI single, and it's 2-0 Guelph.
Don Morea was playing defensively. He got a little bit crossed up there. I wasn't sure if he was playing in front of the runner or behind, but he made a diving attempt to make that play, and it got just by him into the right field.
So Jeffrey Nunez runs into trouble here in the second inning, allowing 2 runs. And now Corey Morrow fouls one off to the left side. Had 2 RBI on the season for Barless, and that has to feel good for him against his former team. Morrow, 2 for 4 on Thursday night's game. Facing a 0-1 count against Nunez here. Pitches way outside. He was showing bunt, but he had to pull it back when he saw how far outside that non-competitive pitch was. Now comes home again, and again outside, 2-1. I feel like we've seen at least 2-1 on every hitter this inning.
Yeah, I think you're right. Nunez really struggling to start off his counts.
Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back on the ground, right back to the screen. Nunez 0-1 this season across 2 appearances for the Baycats, 4.50 ERA. He's pitched 8 innings total, has 8 strikeouts coming in, 5 walks. You can add that walk total up to 8 now.
It looks like he got exactly what he wanted in that last plate appearance there by Evan Ash. He got the ball on the ground to first base, but with Morea moving around, holding the runner before the pitch was off, it got right by him in a diving attempt.
Yeah, it just split the infielders at second base, Ando, and first base, Morea. There was no play for either of them on the single by Barless. Comes home, and it's outside, another 3-ball count, 3-2 to Corey Morrow. And this is quickly becoming a problem for the Barrie Baycats early in this game. And that's upstairs, bases loaded again on another walk. 4th of the inning for Nunez. Barless up to second. Still only 1 out.
We're going to see a mound visit here from third base coach Andrew White. It's really important here to calm Nunez down. The infield's going to come in too.
So it'll be Brando LaRue in the top of the order with only the 1 out. There is a double play situation with the bases loaded, but another hard hit ball could result in 2 or even 3 runs if it's in the right place for the Royals.
This will be the 7th batter of the inning here for the Guelph Royals. Not what the Baycats want to see at all. Especially with the top of the order coming up with the bases loaded.
And at the home plate umpire, Stephen Domes going out to the mound to break up this long mound visit. Brando LaRue in a big situation here for the Royals can break the game open early. Royals already have as many runs in the second inning now as they scored all night on Thursday. Ready to go. Pitch from Nunez. And that is a strike. You hear how the fans react.
Yeah, that pitch was a little bit on the outside corner, but that's exactly what Nunez needs to start off the batter.
And that is, oh, okay. That's a strike, not complaining. Both those strikes, I feel like, were gifts.
On opposite sides of the plate, too. He worked the outside part of the plate on the first pitch and the inside part on the second pitch. Both strikes.
Here's the 0-2. And he got him. LaRue down swinging, 2 outs, and Jeffrey Nunez taking advantage of a big strike zone in that inning, or that batter, excuse me.
And that's an uplift there for Jeffrey Nunez. He really needed that now with 2 outs. Forced plays all around the bases. He can be out of this inning on 1 ground ball.
And now Ethan Hammond. Hammond, one of the best hitters in the Royals lineup. And with 2 outs, the danger's not over yet. Nunez has to get that one more to get out of the inning. First pitch outside to Hammond. Hammond flew out to right in his first at-bat. That was just last inning. Here's the 1-0. And that's down and in. Shepard does a good job of blocking it from going to the backstop. That would have scored a run if it had got by him.
Yeah, a very large backstop here at David E. Hastings Stadium in Guelph.
There's a strike, 2-1. Here's the 2-1, and that's in the middle, 2-2. Pretty much right in the middle of the plate that time was Nunez, and he's got his control back a little bit. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Line, right field, foul, heads up.
I think one thing that might not be working so well for Nunez is that he's working rather quickly. Like he's getting the ball back from the catcher, Dylan Shepard, and stepping right back on the mound and coming set again.
You would maybe slow it down a little bit?
I would, especially in this situation.
2-2. Popped up. Right field, Anderson under it. He's got it, and the gray sky makes the catch, and they get out of the inning. All things considered, kept the damage to a minimum. 2-0 Guelph after 2, heading to the 3rd inning. Julius Hern to call it for you. You're listening to Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. Welcome back. 3rd inning brought to you by Phaetrium, aluminum and siding, quality above all else. And Julius, we have a tale of 2 innings so far. First inning went really well for both pitchers. Second inning, not so well for Jeffrey Nunez, as he gave up a whole bunch of walks. Too many walks for me to mention off the top of my head. He'll want to get that fixed in the 3rd inning. Dylan Shepard stepping up to the plate and stepping up to the microphone, Julius Hern.
Thank you, Patrick. We're here in the top of the 3rd inning. It's 2-0 for the Guelph Royals over the Barrie Baycats. Sandy Baez back on the mound, and the first pitch of the inning is just low and outside for ball 1. Dylan Shepard up for the Baycats. That ball is slashed down the left field line. It's going to get into foul territory and fall in front of the fans, just foul. Shepard swings and misses. And now the count 2-2. In comparison to Jeffrey Nunez, Sandy Baez definitely not working as quick as Nunez. 2-2 pitch just outside, now a full count. Shepard had one pinch hit appearance on Thursday's game in Barrie. He struck out to end the 8th inning. Baez really taking his time here, getting his signs from the catcher. And then a full count pitch outside, and Shepard will take his walk, and the Baycats have a leadoff base runner.
Significantly different pace we're seeing on the mound from Baez compared to Nunez. And with the walk to Shepard, do you think he maybe speeds it up, does the inverse, even though because Nunez is working fast at the start, he's just slowing it down. With Baez starting slow, can speeding it up be a good option for someone who's struggling with command?
I think it might be a little bit different because, one, now there's only one base runner, and two, he hasn't given up any runs yet, so the stress hasn't really built up. As first pitch to Jansen swung on and missed, 0-1.
Jansen did not start or play in Thursday's game. Playing DH today. He's going to be mostly playing shortstop and second base throughout the year, but playing DH as they figure out what to do with Adam Ott defensively.
Shepard takes his lead. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed again from Jansen. Really put a good cut on that, but now the count 0-2.
Jansen, an all-star last year. Now a big 0-2 count. A guy who has not seen Baez before. This will be a big test for Owen.
Baez comes set, and Jansen swings and misses again. And 3-pitch strikeout for Sandy Baez, now one down.
Number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle.
And back to the top of the order now. Noel McGarry Doyle comes up with a runner on here for the Baycats.
Pretty much the whole Baycats team getting their first look at Baez, but now McGarry Doyle, the first hitter to see him for a second time here tonight.
First pitch to McGarry Doyle that was a bit high and outside, but it's called a strike. McGarry Doyle went 1 for 5 on Thursday night against these Guelph Royals.
Still easing into the season a little bit. First game against the Royals on Thursday of the year for Noel. He's a guy that when he's on, he's going to bring you 80 speed, somewhere between 75 and 80 fielding if you're using the 20-80 scale, which I like to do. And you're going to get plus hitting, both power-wise and contact-wise. He's a guy who's going to have a big impact on whatever team he plays for.
That last pitch, foul ball down the left field line, and yes, McGarry Doyle, very much a high-caliber talent.
This is a guy that could have success in a minor league affiliated team.
Grounded on the second. This could be 2, but they only get 1. As McGarry Doyle too fast for that to be doubled up. Shepard's out at second on a fielder's choice from McGarry Doyle. Now 2 out.
And honestly, if you're asking me what McGarry Doyle's ceiling as a player is, I don't think it's minor league baseball. I think he's a guy that's talented enough to get to the major leagues. If the right scout sees him, if he finds himself in the right situation, he's got the talent, he's got the speed, really good approach at the plate. He's a really, really good young ball player.
Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned like he needs to get in the right situation, I think, to make anything work for him career-wise. But he definitely has the talent to get to the majors for sure. First pitch a bit low, but called the strike again. Now 0-1. That's Kenise Ijo steps up.
Learned something interesting last night. Kenise Ijo and Adam Ott, former teammates with the Burlington IBL squad that moved to Welland a few years ago.
Yeah, that's great. They played in the playoffs together as well. That was Ijo's last time in the IBL. And another outside pitch, then called a strike. Ijo doesn't look too happy with that call, and getting his signs from the third base coach, Andrew White.
I think Baycats fans are really going to like Kenise. Only playing his second game right now, so still getting familiar, but He's a really, really nice guy. You look at the way he handles himself as a teammate and as someone around the community, I think he's going to be really popular.
McGarry goes, and he's gunned down at second base to end the inning. A great throw there from Evan Ash. That'll end the top of the third inning. You're listening to Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV.
Williams.
Bottom of the third inning here in Guelph. The Royals maintain a 2-0 lead over the Baycats. Jeffrey Nunez back on the mound here for the Baycats. First pitch to J.D. Williams. Foul on the right side, 0-1. J.D. Williams, a former minor leaguer in the Cincinnati Reds system.
Yeah, he's a good ball player on both sides, fielding and at the plate.
That ball inside and foul just in front of Don Morea. Now 1-2.
It is certainly a different look in the foul territory with no fence there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And really wide, quote-unquote, warning track there with no fence there, but fans sitting in bleachers and in lawn chairs just beyond the warning track.
Similar to Barrie and Toronto, there are minor...
Strikes out on an outside pitch, 1 out.
Couple of strikeouts for Williams today. And Nunez, good to see him open the inning with a strikeout.
Shepard, now 2-1.
And now you're right, I think if you're Nunez on the mound, that was a gift, and Terrasano just stepped out. I think you just take a second, reset, go back to that strikeout stuff you had in the J.D. Williams at bat.
2-1 pitch, and Terrasano grounds it foul on the right side. I think that might be something that pitching coach Brad Grieveson might look to discuss with Nunez. Maybe just working a bit slower, taking his time, especially with no runners on. There's no need to work so quickly in between pitches.
Some guys like the fast pace. It can be hard to get out of the rhythm once you're in it.
2-2 pitches. Fouled off on the left side. Nunez using the rosin bag there in between pitches. Now comes set. 2-2 to Terrasano. Ground ball, might have been a broken bat. Ando at second. Makes the play to Morea, now 2 out.
Definitely think he broke his bat on that one. Fans, Baycats tickets are now available for every game at Bakersfield Stadium this season with options for group tickets, corporate tickets, the Legends Lounge, and the Baseball Buddies program. Head to barriebaycats.com/tickets to buy online.
Now Now Tristan Pompey up, also walked and scored in the second inning, had that monster home run on Thursday night at Vintage Throne Stadium in the first inning.
Not a lot of doubt that Tristan and Dalton are related. Same kind of beard, even.
Yeah, they very much look alike. So that first pitch was a ball, now the 1-0. Popped up, down the left field line in foul territory, and just off the glove of Adam Odd falling into foul territory.
Yeah, great effort from Odd going into foul territory. The only problem with that is I think Noel McGarry-Doyle had a better path to it. But Odd had called him off, committed to it, and just missed it.
It's much easier for a fielder to run into the ball rather than run back on it or run lateral to it.
And that's where it's time for Noel to call him off.
Yeah, the outfielder definitely has seniority in that situation. It's now 1-1 here to Pompey. High and a bit outside for ball 2.
If you're the outfielder, you have to go in with authority and say, hey, this is my ball. I've got the better path to it.
Quick pitch there, and Pompey drives it to deep right, but that's going to get just right of the foul pole, and that was way deep.
Trying for his second home run in as many games against the Baycats. Didn't have any coming into Thursday night's game, but starting to see the ball a little bit better, adjust to the IBL a little bit more.
Bottom of the third, 2-2, 2-out pitch here to Tristan Pompey. Lined into right field, that's going to get down for a base hit. Anderson comes up with it back into the infield, and the Royals have a base runner here with 2 out. Now Noah Roberts will come up with a runner on, 2 out.
And the chant for Pompey.
You can tell Pompey was really timing up Nunez throughout that at-bat.
Yeah, he got more and more pitch recognition, found the delivery more and more, and by the end of it, Nunez just hung out a little bit too much inside the zone, and Pompey took advantage.
That one lined down the right field line, but foul. A lot more barrels here throughout this inning against Nunez.
Yeah, kind of the opposite problem he was having in the second, where he wasn't finding his command as much. Now the command is here, but he's almost finding a little bit too much of the plate.
We're over to first, and Pompey back in safely.
Has to find that nice balance.
Nunez looks in. Another throw over to first, and Pompey back in, standing. That pitch in there, right in the middle for strike 2. Nunez, I think, now consciously working a bit slower as time goes on here in the third inning. Nunez working from the stretch, comes set, the pitch, way outside.
He was saved by Dylan Shepard on that one. That was a wild pitch. Shepard got out of his crouch, was able to block it with his glove. Not really technically a block, more of a catch, but he saved Nunez on that one.
For Shepard to be able to get to that ball back as quick as he did, that was a testament to him. And that ball, swing and a miss from Roberts, and that will end the inning.
Score after 3 complete.
Remains 2-0 Royals. After the third inning, you're listening to Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. Back in Guelph at David E. Hastings Stadium here for the top of the 4th inning. As Kenice Ijo will step back into the plate. He was in at the end of the 3rd inning, but McGarry Doyle caught stealing at second base. So Ijo will see a new count here against Sandy Baez.
4th inning brought to you by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal bin rental and junk removal services.
First pitch to Ijo is inside for ball 1.
Kenice grounded out his first time up. Good crowd here today. Guelph was running a promotion today, so really trying to get everybody out on a nice Saturday afternoon.
Lifted into right field. Moving back is Pompey, and he will settle under it and make the catch. One down here in the 4th inning. Now Adam Odd will step up. Struck out in the 1st inning, but coming off a huge game on Thursday night against the Guelph Royals.
So far, very impressed with Sandy Baez, locating his pitches well, navigating a bunch of different approaches, and adapting very strongly on the mound.
Time call there by the umpire. I'm not sure. I believe Adam Odd asked for time.
I think you're right. Odd stepped out at the earliest opportunity once time was called. Baez looked ready.
Now Baez comes set. Right-hander's first pitch to Odd, outside for ball 1.
And that's not the way you want to start an at-bat. I know it's only 1-0, but if you establish yourself in an at-bat with a ball like that, a non-competitive pitch, it gives the batter a little bit more focus on where the bad pitches are.
1-0 pitches on the outside corner there for a strike.
Strike zone's been consistent so far. Home plate umpire Stephen Domes. Has been a little bit bigger, though.
I typically find that more hitters will take the first pitch, so anytime you can get a first pitch strike that's taken, it's a huge advantage as the 1-1 pitch is outside for a ball.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, early in the at-bat, the 1-0 is non-competitive, so Odd knows where that ball is going if it's going to be a ball. That was closer, but he was still able to sense that it was going to be a ball because he saw one that was more obvious earlier in the at-bat.
Baez comes set and delivers the 2-1. Another outside pitch, now 3-1.
Same thing there. A batter who's seeing a pitcher for the first time really needs as many pitches as possible to get used to the release point and the angle the pitcher's throwing to. When you see non-competitive pitches, it's just a free look at that pitching motion.
Baez with a 3-1 and another outside pitch to Adam Odd. 4 pitches really in the same spot. And Adam Odd given the free pass here with 1 out in the 4th inning.
Even the strike in that at-bat wasn't far off. It was that outside corner again, just caught enough of the zone that time. But 5 pitches pretty much in the same spot, you're right.
Now comes Roy Sando. Roy Sando had the only hit of the ball game here for the Baycats so far. That single in the 2nd inning.
You mentioned it. A lot of strikeouts in that last game on Thursday. Really wants to turn things around. Have a good game here.
Golden Sombrero, 4 strikeouts on Sunday in Hamilton. And took that first pitch low for a ball. Odd with a modest lead at first base. Baez pitching out of the stretch. The 1-0. Line on the ground up the middle. This could be 2. Second to first and a double play. As the second baseman Morrow went to the bag himself, and that will end the inning.
Just a perfect hop from the bat right there. Really unfortunate for the Baycats, fortunate for the Royals.
2-0 Royals after 3.5. You're listening to Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV.
35, Evan Ash.
Evan Ash will lead things off for the Guelph Royals. New pitcher on the mound is Evan Souls. And Julius, Evan Souls has been really good this season, but it's a disappointing outing for Jeffrey Nunez.
Yeah, Jeffrey Nunez just couldn't find his command whatsoever. He had 3 walks, I believe 4 walks in that second inning. And I believe he was working too fast. He just couldn't calm himself down or find any kind of real rhythm to his pitches as Souls will step off here.
Nunez charged with 2 runs, so a big inning walk-wise and not the command he wants to have in the second inning, but managed to get out of most of the danger. Still 2-0 Guelph, and Julius back on the mic.
Quick mound visit to start the inning from Shepard and Souls, and now the batter Evan Ash calls time. And we're set here for the bottom of the 4th. First pitch is in there for strike 1.
Be sure to stay tuned post-game on BarrieBaycats.com for the post-game recap from Sam O'Coin.
Same spot in that second pitch and another strike call. Now 0-2 here on Evan Ash.
Sam's been doing great work across the season.
Souls works quickly and gets a swinging strike to sit down Ash. 1 down.
Number 4, Julius.
And the way Souls preps for games, it makes him very valuable because he can start a game or he can come in from the bullpen and be equally as effective. And he can really give you some length out of the bullpen. He's a guy that came in earlier in the season when Christian Mullen went down with an injury in the first inning, went the rest of the game after coming in the first inning. So he can bring some serious stamina to your team. He'll be asked to give some innings after Jeffrey Nunez couldn't here today.
First pitch swung on and missed by Darius Barless. I was talking to Evan Souls just before Thursday's game, and he was saying how he really stays loose throughout the entire game. And as that pitch is low, now 1-1. I was asking him about prepping for a start, home versus road. Sometimes when you're pitching at home, you have to sit for a half inning, as the 1-1 pitch is fouled off. Now 1-2. And he was saying how he stays really loose. Even in the bullpen, he's always moving around. He's up and interacting with teammates, and that's what enables him to be able to come in any situation.
Well, Souls has a ton of energy, and you see it whenever you talk to him. He's just got a ton of energy. It's his nature, and it really serves him well as a ball player.
1-2 here on Darius Barless. The pitch from Souls swung on and missed. And Barless down on strikes. 2 straight strikeouts here to start the 4th for Evan Souls. 2 down.
And what's really impressed me last year was the increased velocity throughout the year. And he brought that into this year, but it's really been the increased command. He's really throwing it exactly where he wants it to, the good location from Souls this year. And it's really brought a lot of success for Evan so far this season.
Seems like he's in a whole other zone when he's on the mound.
Really does.
Very loose guy in the clubhouse and with the team, but a whole other guy on the mound is middle on that first pitch.
And it feels like this is what he's been working toward. He came on for the first time in 2021 as a young pitcher. He's still a young pitcher.
That pitch hit Morrow looks like on the elbow, but it seems to be okay as he makes his way to first.
He's still a young pitcher, but now we're really seeing him mature as an arm and as someone who can be trusted in just about any role for Josh Matlow.
Yes, absolutely. I think a very fluid delivery like he has keeps him in great shape throughout the game. He's able to stay rested in between pitches. And now 1 on, 2 out here for leadoff hitter Brando LaRue as he swings and misses at that first pitch.
Just lost control of that last pitch, by the way, the hit-by pitch. Just got a little bit too inside to the right-handed hitter. Righty-righty matchup. And trying to go inside, just got a little bit too inside, like he did there.
That one almost hit LaRue, but he managed to spin out of the way a little bit. 1-1. I think another thing that might have spurred the removal of Nunez from this game is Josh Matlow might not have wanted him to see this Guelph lineup for a third time.
I think you're right.
1-1 pitch is just on the outside corner there. LaRue not happy with that call. It's now 1-2.
In theory, though, if Nunez wasn't struggling with command quite as much, you could have him go against 7, 8, 9 in the batting order. Hope he gets a 1-2-3 inning and then you can bring in a guy from the bullpen like Souls.
1-2 pitch outside for ball 2. I think, again, like, you're really trying to play catch-up when you have a poor outing like that with a lot of walks, so you're not really working the batters as good as you can. 2-2 pitch swung on and driven to right field. James Anderson will settle underneath it and make the catch as he runs back to the warning track. And that'll end the 4th inning. Royals remain up 2-0 on the Baycats. You're listening to Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV.
Number 20, Victor Fly.
Welcome back to Guelph. It's 2-0 Royals here at the start of the 5th inning, and it's brought to you by Ital Paving. For all your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for almost 40 years because you deserve the best. And now back on the mic, Mr. Patrick Melbourne.
Thank you very much, Julius Hern. 5th inning, ready to play. Sandy Baez looked really good so far. First pitch from him to Victor Plauz is inside for a ball. 3rd time up for Plauz today, or excuse me, 2nd time up.
Flew out to right his first time up. First start as a Baycat. Came in as a defensive replacement on Thursday against the Royals.
Righty-righty matchup. That's grounded to the left side and through. A base hit for Victor Plauz. So a leadoff base runner for the Baycats, and with only a 2-run lead for the Royals, it's not out of reach. Baycats can put together a rally, and that's exactly what they want to do. Leadoff single, and that'll bring up Dom Maria.
And Dom Maria struck out looking his first time up in the 2nd inning, and another guy that really looking to solidify his name in this Baycats lineup.
So Maria standing in. Runner at first is Plauz, who's got good speed. He takes a decent lead. Pitch is inside for a ball.
And Maria boasting a little bit of power here. Hasn't shown it a ton so far this year, but like I said, he's trying to solidify himself, and I think a powerful outing here would do just that.
Here's the 1-0. Hit on the right side. A dive from first base. Pitcher comes over to cover. They'll get him at first. Runner Plauz moves over to second base. Will end up as a bit of a sacrifice.
Yeah, again, anytime you can move the runner up, that's a successful at bat, but that was a very awkward play at first base. It was a check swing by Maria, and the first baseman, Roberts, was looking like he was trying to dive for that, but the ball wasn't hit as hard as he thought it was. And
Did Roberts get a glove on that?
No, he didn't.
So 4-1. Yeah. I appreciate the most complicated play of the game so far happening while I'm in the middle of coughing and trying to get water down quickly to recover my voice. I appreciate that. James Anderson takes the ball 1-0. I was secretly hoping for just a ball there so I could recover a little bit.
Nice lead from Plauz at second base.
It is a big lead. And that's going to be a strike. Upper part of the strike zone to James Anderson. Can't 1-1.
And Plauz isn't really being held on at all. The middle infielders are staying distant from second base. But
No force situation on the ground ball. He can stay there if he wants. Anderson on the ground, left side. Make a play, Andrew White. Nope. He drops it. It was in foul territory. Tried to get it on the bounce, and that's why you bring your glove, Julius Hern.
To be fair, that ball did take a high hop on him. But.
Looking forward to you doing batting practice without a glove out there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. James Anderson, the right-handed hitter, against Sandy Baez, the right-handed pitcher. Baez comes home, and that is outside. 2-2.
I'm just talking about going and playing catch with one of the guys without a glove.
No, you got to catch batting practice.
Okay.
Yeah. We're getting this for Instagram stories. Royals wearing their home white uniforms. Baycats in their navy blue with the gray pants. Looks back, now comes home again. Pitch inside, it's popped up. Second baseman moving over, and he'll make the running catch. That's Corey Morrow over there at second base. 2 away.
That ball was hit on the inside of the bat, almost on the hands of James Anderson. I wouldn't be surprised if that bat is a bit broken.
Who was it earlier this season that came up and had 3 or 4 broken bats in one game? Was it Kazemka?
That was Brian Rivera for the Hamilton Cardinals.
Right.
He had 3 broken bats last Sunday.
Yeah, and that was his IBL debut. He came in and he broke 3 bats. First pitch down low to Dylan Shepard. Catcher walked and then was forced out in a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning. Yeah, I think Brian Rivera might have taken away his favorite bats out of rotation for a little bit after that game.
We were saying in that broadcast, we were just hoping it's not any of his teammates' bats. That wouldn't be the best impression.
Well, first day with the team, he might not have his bats yet.
Exactly, yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike after the swinging strike to Dylan Shepard. Wind coming in now from behind the plate. That's outside Dylan, 2-1. Shepard, one of a few catchers on the team. We've seen Josh Cote, we've seen Tyler Plumpton, and now seeing Dylan Shepard. Also seeing a little bit of Hayden Jaco. Saw him pinch hitting on Thursday, still recovering from knee surgery.
Yeah. He was cleared to take at-bats, but he hasn't been cleared yet to play defensively.
Ended up taking a walk.
Hit by pitch.
Or hit by pitch. Same difference. He didn't have to run.
Yeah, he had Evan Souls come in and pinch run for him anyway.
So immediately a pinch runner. It was a 10-2 game, and he got on base without having to run is what I remember.
Yeah.
So a walk with a bruise. And that's outside the zone. Third base umpire says he didn't go. Count 3-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning here at David E. Hastings Stadium. Thanks for joining us. Patrick Melbourne, Julius Hern with you. Sam O'Coin, also part of the production crew today. Here's the 3-2. On the ground at the middle. Going to be a tough play. Morrow dives. Throw on to first is going to be in time. What a play by Corey Morrow. And that will end the inning. Wow. I haven't seen range like that from an infielder for quite a while. Corey Morrow with the play. We head to the 6th inning, or the bottom of the 5th inning here at David E. Hastings Stadium on Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. fans, the Baycats Banter podcast is back for Season 2. Join the show for stories, stats, discussion, and interviews with your favorite Baycats. Learn more about your team. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Baycats TV, or your favorite podcast app. Bottom of the fifth inning, Evan Souls back out there on the hill, facing off against Ethan Hammond, J.D. Williams, and Justin Interessano. And I can't get over that play by Corey Morrow. I mean, no one was there. That looked like it was going to get through for sure.
And that would have been a run for the Baycats. Victor Plaus would have easily scored.
So the Royals catch a break on Morrow's excellent defensive play. And the first pitch is inside to Hammond. Hammond playing left field today. Williams up the middle, and then Pompey, the right fielder, hits it to left field in foul territory, and it'll be well out of play. And that one got him.
That's a tough spot to be hit. I think that one got him on the back knee. But he seems to be okay, making his way out to first base.
Yeah, it got him in a spot that is more sensitive, but it wasn't a fastball, so it didn't come in with a lot of velo. And although a Guelph Royals fan wants him tossed from the game, which feels a little harsh for an off-speed pitch inside, he won't be.
Quick mound visit there from Dylan Shepard to Evan Souls.
And at J.D. Williams. Williams has 2 strikeouts. First pitch from Souls. Big swing and a miss. The high heat. 0-1.
Hammond looking to swing for the fences on that pitch.
And that's too high. 1-1. Runner on first is Hammond. He's got good speed. He'll take a lead. Has the oven mitt on his left hand. Here's the 1-1 from Souls. And umpire calls time late. And Souls had already... He was in the middle of his pitch.
Yeah, pitcher's never happy when that's the case. They're in mid-delivery and time is called. You really have... You can't stop at that point, and you risk injury if you stop your delivery.
And that's way outside. You can't blame Souls for being a little thrown off there after throwing a pitch and mid-delivery having time called. That's not right. Here's the 2-1. And that's up high, 3-1.
Hey, if that was Hammond that asked for time, that's probably exactly what he was aiming for, is just to get in the pitcher's head.
I think you're absolutely right. 3 balls, 1 strike from Evan Souls. Kicks, comes home. And again, the high heat. Same pitch he got the first strike on. Gets strike 2, and we have a full count.
And J.D. Williams again, looking like he was swinging for that 397 in left center.
Crowd getting behind J.D. Williams. Baycats hoping for Evan Souls to win out in this battle. Runner goes. And they got him on strikes. Throw to second. Runner is in there in time, but it's a strikeout to J.D. Williams, 1 away in the inning. Stolen base for Ethan Hammond.
And testament to Evan Souls there, battling his way through that at bat, just trusting his fastball up in the zone. That's exactly what Williams was attacking throughout that at bat, and swung and missed it all 3 times.
So Interessano walked and scored in the second, and then he grounded out in the 3rd inning. Runner in scoring position for him here. 1 out in the inning. Pitch from Souls is popped up, and that'll go out of play behind the backstop.
And that was the 3rd strikeout of the game for J.D. Williams, so very unlike his ability and even what we saw on Thursday night in Barrie.
Yeah, he's a good player. Getting him to strike out 3 times is an accomplishment. 2 from Nunez, 1 from Souls. Souls ready, glove by the waist, looks back at the runner at second, Hammond. Like mentioned, he's got good speed and a big lead. A long look now comes to the plate, and that's a ball upstairs to Justin Interessano. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Todd maintaining a close eye on the runner at short.
And that's low. So Interessano now a 2-1 count. If you're Evan Souls right now, you have to focus on that hitter at the plate. I know the runner at second, Hammond's got good speed, but the challenge right now is Interessano.
And that's the most stressful place for a runner to be in terms of a pitcher, because you're worried about tipping pitches, you're worried about your signs being relayed in some cases.
That's a good point. Here at the home of the Royals, 2-0 lead so far for Guelph. They're trying to add on. Baycats hoping to stop that from happening. And that is ball 4. So the first walk given up by Souls.
City, get loud for your right fielder, number 17.
I think Souls was a bit worried about attacking the middle of the plate. And I think he was working in Interessano outside, maybe worried about his power there a little bit, but an open base here with 1 out, and then the double play is back in order.
You wonder if Souls wasn't terribly disappointed to walk in Interessano there, because now you set up a potential double play situation.
That's my point. The ground ball here could get you out of the inning.
Tough batter to get it out of, though. Tristan Pompey has walked and scored, and he has a single to right field. That was a line drive single. That is a strike, 1-1. Pompey, a guy with pop in the bat. We saw it on Thursday. In his first season with the Guelph Royals, his brother Dalton played with the team last year, the former Blue Jay. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a strike, 1-2. And now suddenly Evan Souls in a strikeout count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And he didn't miss that by much. Just high, 2-2.
That looked like a great pitch. It was probably just inside from the umpire's eye, but I think that's exactly what Souls was looking for, trying to work the inside part of the plate.
I think based on what we've seen today, height-wise, it was a strike. Runner Hammond goes for third. That is up and in again, 3-2. Runner in there without a throw. Second stolen base of the inning for Ethan Hammond.
But Interessano remaining at first, but that will keep the double play in order here for the Baycats if they can get a ground ball from Pompey.
Now a full count to Tristan Pompey. Big lead at first for Interessano, and Souls steps off. Fans getting behind Interessano at first. Hammond at third, and Pompey at the plate. The 3-2. Here comes from Souls. That is strike 3 called.
Pompey was just about to flip that back to the dugout, and I was surprised by that strike 3 call, but now 2 out here.
And Souls noticing that the zone has been bigger throughout the game at the top of the zone. Tried pitching there a few times, went a little too inside, went lower, got the call, 2 away. So here's Noah Roberts. He's 0 for 2 today.
A lot of lefties consecutively here for Evan Souls to work against.
And now you don't need to worry about the double play with 2 out. And that's down and in, 1-0. Souls kicks, fires, fouled right back to the screen. Hit the boards under the screen, hence the b. Is that good Foley there? And all the fans go, that's why you should buy a pop filter. And if you saw our setup right now, you would understand why we don't have a pop filter. Very thankful to the wonderful game day team at David E. Hastings Stadium for helping us set up here today. And that is up high. 2-1. Really is a wonderful park. If you get a chance, if you're in the Guelph area, highly recommend going to a game. Very pleasant atmosphere, very well-maintained park, and a good baseball team. Here's the 2-1. That is strike 2. And now Souls suddenly, after the runner at second with only 1 out, is now a strike away from getting out of this bottom of the 5th inning. without allowing a run.
With those open areas down each line here in Guelph, you really feel like you're on the field if you're a fan at the ball game sitting in the outfield.
You're one of the players. That's strike 3 called. And Noah Roberts is yelling at the umpire. He yelled, "No way." And he's still yelling, and I'm talking over it in case he says something a little less family-friendly. Heading to the 6th inning, Julius Hern to call it for you. You're listening to Baycats Radio only on Baycats TV. Owen Jansen will lead things off. 6th inning brought to you by Beating the Odds Autism Center and Farm, where teaching is brought to nature. And over the break, we got to hear Scotty Fraser, the in-game host for the Guelph Royals. He does a great job. Super nice guy as well. Great to hear him at David E. Hastings Stadium. You know who else it's great to hear from? Julius Hern. He's back on the play-by-play for the next couple innings.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Sandy Baez back on the mound here to face Owen Jansen, leading off the 6th inning for the Baycats. Former Purdue alum. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Jansen struck out his first time up in the 3rd inning.
And if you're wondering why Jansen's batting from the bottom of the order, well, it's just as simple as he does better from the bottom of the order. Feels more comfortable down there.
That one fouled off the mask of the catcher.
In that reverse leadoff spot. And paired with Noel McGarry Doyle at the top of the order, it really is a natural spot for him. It's a modern style of batting order where a really good hitter is batting 9th, not the classic one where you put your worst hitter at 9. Because Owen Jansen was an all-star last year. He is one of the best hitters on the Baycats.
Yeah, a ton of potential as a player. It's a guy that you want on base when your top of the lineup is up, as they're going for right here, as that one was low. Now 2-1 on Owen Jansen.
Baycats still looking for their first run. Royals had a couple of runs in a big 2nd inning. Could have been even more. They left the bases loaded, but have 3 scoreless runs or innings since then.
Well, hit hard to shortstop, and Brandon LaRue makes the play on the first for the first out of this 6th inning.
I tell you, this may not be a hot baseball team right now at the plate overall in these last few games, but they have really impressed both of us defensively all around the diamond. They have been a solid defensive club in these 2 games against the Barrie Baycats.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a very hard hit ball there by Owen Jansen, and a play on the run there by Brandon LaRue. As top of the order comes up with Nolan McGarry Doyle. Takes that first pitch. Upper part of the zone for strike 1.
Noel reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning, flew out in the 1st. Looking for his first big hit of the season for the Baycats in his 2nd game.
That one just a bit outside there, now 1-1. Gary Doyle staying in the box. Baez taking his time, getting the signs there from the catcher, Evan Ash. Now comes set. The 1-1 pitch. On the ground, off the arm of Sandy Baez, and in that ball in the dirt on the throw to first, and McGarry Doyle will reach, and that's going to be an infield single.
After looking at where that ball ended up, he'll be disappointed that he wasn't able to get to second on that one. Really hard crack of the bat. Great sound for McGarry Doyle, and now he's on base. He's the best base runner on the team by a mile, so he'll be looking to steal.
They're going to have a bit of a mound visit from the manager and the athletic trainer. And that throw into first was nearly scooped by the first baseman, Noah Roberts. That ball went right up in the air, and I don't think McGarry Doyle would have been able to make it to second base, but
Now, someone in the stands is saying that that should be an error on Baez. I think that would be an awfully harsh error call.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really hard to defend yourself off the mound, especially when the ball hit that hard. And Baez,
They're going to give him a few warm-up pitches just to make sure he's okay after that.
Baez did a great job of keeping that ball in front of him on the fly. It nearly made that play to first.
Fans, the Baycats will be hosting another big summer of camp this coming July. Last summer was the biggest summer camp in the history of the organization, with a week of March camp indoors and 3 weeks of summer camp at Vintage Throne Stadium. There's 2 weeks focused on select and rep levels and 1 focused on house league. For more info and to register, go to barriebaycats.com/camps.
Those youth camps are a really great time. I've had some friends who were in them as a kid and ended up volunteering for them as they grew up. Really great time throughout the Barrie community.
And it looks like member of our media team, Dylan Quinn, will be helping out the Toronto Blue Jays with their version of the camps this summer, which is pretty cool.
He seems very excited about that. The first pitch, Kenise Ijo is lined down the right field line. This is going to be extra bases. Noel McGarry Doyle is going to round third, and he will score. Ijo is going to go for third, and this is going to be his second straight game with a triple as the Baycats get on the board as McGarry Doyle comes in to score.
2 straight games with a triple in his Baycats career to start it off for Kenise Ijo. And McGarry Doyle's speed, I mean, he could have rounded the bases a couple of times.
Fantastic piece of hitting there from Kenise Ijo. Going the other way, right down the right field line.
Now with only the 1 out, Baycats threatening. All they need is a deep fly ball to tie up this game.
Now Adam Odd will step in, another chance for an RBI.
That would put Evan Souls in a potential position to win this game if the Baycats can tie and then take the lead at some point.
First pitch inside for ball 1. Odd is 0 for 1 so far, struck out in the first and had a walk in the 4th inning. Ball fouled. Looks like off the plate, now 1-1.
Almost sounded like the bat may have broken a little bit on that, didn't it?
Yeah, he's giving it a check, but seems to be okay. He's going to stand back in there, face Baez.
Had that kind of sharp sound to it.
One pitch from Baez. That one's a broken bat, but that's going to get into right field for a base hit. And the Baycats have tied this game. Adam Law with an RBI single.
So the bat was broken, but he managed to get a base hit out of it. And actually, the weakened broken bat actually made it so the ball fell into the perfect spot for the Baycats. Ijo is able to score, and this is a brand new ball game.
And they're going to call to the bullpen. New pitcher will come on here for the Guelph Royals as Sandy Baez's outing is done.
And you know what? This inning may not have gone Baez's way. Just a little bit too deep into the game for him, perhaps. But he was really good today. Really promising arm for the Royals. And now we'll see who comes out of the pen when we come back.
It's a tie ball game here in the top of the 6th inning. You're listening to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV.
New pitcher in the game for the Guelph Royals. It is the right-hander Kyle Thomas. And Julius, it was a good outing overall for Sandy Baez. This inning, the Baycats were able to tie it, and there was some hard contact in the last inning. But overall, the Royals can be very optimistic about what they saw from Baez today.
Yeah, Sandy Baez going 5 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks allowed, 4 hits allowed, and 2 runs allowed so far. Adam Odd will be an inherited runner here for Kyle Thomas as he faces Royce Ando. And that first pitch to Ando, outside part of the plate. That was very outside, but called a strike by the home plate umpire, now 0-1.
This is not the most consistent strike zone we've seen this season.
Kyle Thomas, a former Division I college player here for the Guelph Royals.
Bit of a different look, a faster delivery on the mound, and that can change your rhythm as a hitter. Even though they're both right-handers, they're very, very different looks out there on the pitcher's mound.
Now 0-2 as Ando fouled out to the backstop. And it looks like Kyle Thomas is working in between pitches a lot faster as Baez was. The 0-2 swung and fouled to the on-deck circle. Remains 0-2. One out here with Adam on first base for the Baycats. The 0-2 in the dirt for ball 1. Victor Plaza on deck for the Baycats.
After that last at-bat from Plaza, he looked locked in. They would rather avoid that matchup if possible.
Well, line into center field. That one might get down, and it will. As Ando with his second base hit of the ball game. And now 2 runners on for Victor Plaza with 1 out.
Seemed like both Williams and Pompey were waiting for the other one to call it and really take charge, and neither of them did. Both of them have good speed, Williams and Pompey out there, and both of them capable of getting to that ball, but it just fell right in the middle of them. Both of them will be wishing they had another chance on that one.
It kind of fell into the area in the gap right between them, and
no man's land.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if either of them would have been able to get to it if any of them actually committed to it, but nonetheless, now 2
I think
on.
if either of them commit to it, either of them could have made the catch. They both have plus speed.
First pitch strike to Victor Plaza as he's up with 2 on and 1 out.
Odd's been showing increased speed this season at second base. Last season I would have said Ando better speed at first, but now it's more even.
Modest lead from each of them as though one pitch is in there for a strike on the outside corner. Kyle Thomas comes set. The 0-2 to Victor Plaza as Plaza sees that one into the dirt outside, now 1-2. Surprised that Royce Ando isn't taking a larger lead. He's not being held on. So 1-2 pitch is skied into right field. Coming in on it is Pompey, and that ball's going to drop in front of him. Adam on is racing to home plate. He will score, and Ando's in the third safely. RBI single there from Victor Plaza, and the Baycats take a 3-2 lead.
Wonderful job by Andrew White, the third base coach. At second base, Odd was sent right away, sensing that Pompey would not be able to get to that ball. Pompey had a decent chance at it from some angles, but from White's angle, he knew it would drop. He was right, and because of that, Odd's able to score, and all the way to third goes Royce Ando. Great, great third base coaching there by Andrew White.
That was a very good read all around. And that ball looked to be hit harder than it was, but it ended up kind of being more of a bloop single. There's now runners on the corners here with 1 out for Dom Maria. First pitch swung on and missed by Maria.
This has to be a disheartening inning so far for the Guelph Royals, who are hoping to snap a fairly lengthy losing streak.
3 runs here in this 6th inning here for the Baycats. One out for Don Maria with runners on the corners. The 0-1 pitch. Outside corner there for strike 2.
From our angle, that did not look like a strike. This has been a big strike zone.
Wider than it has been higher.
Well, you say that, but earlier in the game, Jeffrey Nunez got some high calls. And that was a very strange at-bat because we really haven't seen the zone expand other than that one at-bat. So I would not say this has been a consistent strike zone today.
Light throw over to first from Kyle Thomas and plows it back in safely standing up.
And hey, it's a hard job. So we're not trying to be critical, but based on what we have noticed, it has jumped around a little bit.
0-2 pitch popped up on the infield. Play on it at third base, and Darius Barless will make the catch for the second out of the inning.
And that makes it harder on the pitchers because they don't know where to establish. If your zone is consistent from start to finish, pitchers can establish a zone in their first inning of work and know that that's where they need to be throughout the game. If it jumps around a little bit from inning to inning, then you have to reset and establish your stuff all over again. It's a big disadvantage for both sides out there on the mound.
James Anderson coming up here with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Royce Ando on third base. Victor Plaza on first.
Big RBI situation here.
Pitch from Thomas. The ball's a called strike, and now Ando's caught up, but the ball gets by the second baseman on the steal attempt, and Ando will score. Victor Plaza in the second base. He was off on that pitch.
Yeah, you would think that's an error on the second baseman, Corey Morrow, as he got a decent throw to handle, and he just could not handle it.
This inning unraveling here for the Guelph Royals. That run may be unearned, but we'll see how this inning goes on.
Yeah, we'll have to see the official scoring.
A ball up the middle. Tough play here for Morrow, but he's going to make it on to first for the third out of the inning. Baycats with a big 4-run top of the 6th inning as they are now up 4-2. You're listening to Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV.
This season on Barrie Baycats TV and BarrieBaycats.com, we'll be showing off highlights from your Barrie Baycats more than ever before. Head to BarrieBaycats.com/highlights and subscribe to Baycats TV to see them all. A matchup of Evan versus Evan. Evan Souls, Evan Ash on the mic. Julius Hern.
Thank you, Patrick. And not to mention Evan Souls, the pitcher, Evan Ash, the catcher for
Yes.
the Guelph Royals. As that first pitch is Outside corner for a strike. Marcel Lacasse has come in defensively to replace Don Murray at first base.
Beat me to that note by about a sentence there.
Second pitch farther outside and low. Now 1-1.
You haven't seen too much of Marcel at first base. Normally a third baseman catcher for the team, but with all the catching depth and now the existing third baseman in the game of Victor Plaz, stands at first base.
2 pitches swung on and missed by Evan Ash, and he goes down swinging. 1 out.
3 straight strikeouts for Evan Souls, and Souls wins that battle of Evan versus Evan.
Now Darius Barless.
You know, if this was cricket, we could make a joke about it being the Ashes with Evan Ash. That's coming up soon, by the way.
What's that?
The Ashes, the annual cricket match between England and Australia. That's always fun. Do you watch cricket at all?
I've tried. As that pitch is high, now 2-0. I have tried, and I'm just really trying to work around how it works, like get my head around how it works.
Once you get the hang of it, it's quite fun.
Yes, I definitely need to commit more to it. The 2-0 pitch here. In there for a strike on Darius Barless, 2-1.
For the most part, all the places that don't play baseball so much play cricket.
I've seen that, yes. 2-1 pitch. That one looked good, but now 3-1 on Darius Barless.
I've wondered before if Major League Baseball has ever tried to steal any cricket stars and see if it translates.
That's a good point. Now full count as Barless cuts and misses. Full count pitch. Lined up the middle for a base hit. Darius Barless with his second hit of the ball game.
That was a good pitch. Had some bite at the top of the zone, but it was just outplayed there by Darius Barless. He guessed right, guessed the right part of the zone, guessed the right pitch. Got it right up the middle. Good base hit by Darius Barless. Good pitch, better hit.
Now Evan Souls working with a runner on for the second straight inning. As you'll see the 9th hitter, Corey Morrow. First pitch is inside to Morrow. His last at bat, he was hit by the pitch.
We have seen excellence defensively from Corey Morrow and not so excellent in that last half inning.
1-0 pitch fouled off on the left side.
Still, though, if you balance them side by side, the excellent play does outweigh the error.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
so good.
There's a lot of mentalities. It's like coaching, and you're going to want to have a better player out there defensively, especially in the middle, up the middle, catcher, middle infield, center field, as that pitch was fouled off on the left side again.
You're right.
Now 1-2.
Particularly shortstop, but I think a lot of people do undervalue how important a good second baseman can be as well.
The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off again on the left side.
And that's something the Baycats do not undervalue under the Josh Matlow era. Royce Ando has been there as much as possible. He's a great defensive second baseman. They've played Owen Jansen there a bit.
Grounded on the right side, foul just past the Barrie dugout.
And then, of course, Carson Burns at shortstop has played there most of the time. Some Owen Jansen, some Adam Odd now.
Adam Odd's got lots of speed, too. A lot of speed.
Adam Odd's really impressed me defensively this year. Night and day from last year, where I think he was maybe a little bit more limited by injury than we thought.
1-2 pitch line into left field through the infield for another base hit. As the Royals starting a rally here. 1 out with 2 runners on. And the top of the order coming up with Brandon LaRue.
Fourth time through the batting order now for the Guelph Royals.
Brandon LaRue comes into this one 0 for 3.
I believe this is the second time Souls will be seeing LaRue after 2 times Nunez saw LaRue. Very different looks out there on the mound. We saw with Roberts and Baez, equally different with Nunez and Souls. Those are the 4 pitchers that have been a part of this game here today.
First pitch in there for a ball. Souls also worked with 2 runners on the last inning, but managed to get 2 strikeouts to end it. Another one low for a 2-0 count now on Brandon LaRue.
I'll tell you, I'm thinking back to reactions about the strike zone. Noah Roberts yelling at the umpire in front of him. I'm amazed he didn't get tossed.
Me as well. It was
like
impressive.
everybody heard it. I'm not saying I would have tossed him or anything because I didn't hear any swear words or anything, but
Broken bat up the middle, and it's going to get over Roy Sando into center field. They're going to hold the runner at third base. And now the base is loaded here for the Royals with 1 out after the first hit of the ball game.
All aboard now for the Royals. LaRue at first, Morrow at second, Barless at third. And the heart of the order coming up, Hammond, Williams, and Terrasano. A real test for the Baycats pitching staff as Andrew White goes out there on the mound along with the entire infield to talk to Evan Souls.
This might be the most adversity that Evan Souls has faced in an outing so far this year. I don't think he's had the bases loaded yet this season, so it'd be a real true test to his strengths as a pitcher.
The double play would end the inning if he were to get one, generate one from Hammond, Williams, or Terrasano. Baycats open Hammond as the umpire goes out to break up the meeting. Stephen Domes, Andrew White mentioning some final words to Souls out there on the hill. And hey, if there's any Baycats pitcher that can overcome a situation like this based on what we've seen this year, it's Evan Souls.
Absolutely. He's been able to stay very loose inside and outside of each of his outings this year. And like I mentioned earlier, he can really lock in when he's on the mound. He's a whole different guy. Quite a competitor.
Ethan Hammond was hit by a pitch his last time up. Stole second, stole third, and then was stranded there. He's also flown out to right field twice.
Ball line into right field. That's going to be extra bases for Ethan Hammond. Into the corner. Anderson struggles with it, gets it in. That's going to be a bases clearing double for the Guelph Royals as they take a 5-4 lead.
And Souls will be disappointed with that pitch. Just got a little bit too much of the plate. And a costly mistake. 5-4 now for the Royals. And Ethan Hammond, who was 0 for 2 with the hit by pitch, was not going to be held down for long. And it doesn't get any easier now. Now the traditional double play is taken away. No runner at first. And the powerful J.D. Williams at the plate. The flip side of that, 3 strikeouts for Williams today.
First pitch to Williams. That was low for ball 1. That's exactly what the Royals needed, a bases clearing double there from Ethan Hammond. Keeping stress on the infield and the outfield and the pitcher. 1-0 pitches just on the outside corner. Now 1-1.
Fans did not like that strike call. Both teams have had issues with the zone at different points tonight.
Swing and a miss there from J.D. Williams. He's down 1-2.
If you're just joining us, Baycats added 4 in the top half of this inning. Guelph responded with 3 of their own. Guelph now leads 5-4.
Evan Souls steps off, takes a little bit of a breather. J.D. Williams steps back in. A 1-2 count with a 1 out. A 5-4 ball game here in the 6th inning. 1-2 pitch from Souls. Low and away, and now it evens up the count at 2-2.
That's a non-competitive pitch. He won't be happy with that one. That's one where he was trying to get him to chase low and a little bit away, but it just caught the dirt. Did not fool Williams one bit.
Adam Ott and Dylan Shepard up on the mound and talk to Evan Souls. Might be discussing a little bit what's happening with the base runner.
Yeah, also the signs. With a runner at second, you need to be careful with what signs you're showing.
Especially
going out to give the game plan to Souls out there on the hill.
Even as a pitcher, you have to be careful with how you're presenting the ball in the glove. There's a 2-2 pitch to Williams. Fouled to the backstop.
There have been about 3 of those back to the backstop where it's hit the boards and the fans jump every single time. I love it.
Hammond runs well at second base.
Situation where a single would score another run for the Guelph Royals. Keeps an eye on the runner. The 2-2 pitch from Souls is reached on and grounded into right field, and that is going to score another run, but if there's a throw to the plate, not in time. And the Guelph Royals take a 6-4 lead on a single from J.D. Williams.
And just like that, if the Baycats want to win this game, they need to have another big inning of at least 2 runs, because that 4 spot in the top of the inning was just matched by the Guelph Royals. They had a 2-run lead coming into this inning. They have a 2-run lead once again.
There has been some activity up in the bullpen as Josh Matlow out there, and it looks like this is the end of the outing for Evan Souls. That's going to be it for number 46. 5 hits, 4 runs allowed in this inning.
Welcome back to David E. Hastings Stadium. Brad Grieveson is the new pitcher, the closer for the last couple of seasons for the Baycats / high leverage pitcher for the team. And this is a high leverage spot. It is now 6-4 Guelph Royals. Grieveson will be facing off against Justin Interessano with a runner on first and 1 out. Royals up by 2. Back on the mic, Julius Hern.
7th batter of the inning here for the Guelph Royals. Brad Grieveson, and the runner goes, and that ball's lined into center field and deep. But settling under is Kenise Ijo. He makes the catch, and the runner, Williams, will have to head back to first.
Ijo's got such good range when it comes to the outfield. On paper, when Starlin Rodriguez comes back, and that's no disrespect to James Anderson, who's also a good outfielder, but you have Noel McGarry-Doyle, Kenise Ijo in center field, and then Starlin Rodriguez in right. That's arguably the best outfield in the IBL.
And I think the starting lineup they had on Thursday was exactly what they wanted going forward.
I think you're right.
There's 2 out hit now here in the 6th inning as Tristan Pompey steps in. And that first pitch taken outside for strike 1. Just on the outside part of the plate.
Pompey 1 for 2 with a walk.
Fouled off on the right side, now 0-2.
He scored the time he walked. That was back in the 2nd inning where Jeffrey Nunez walked 4.
That's the difference in this game right now, as this inning has been big for offense on both sides, but 4 runs for both sides.
Grieveson comes set. Modest lead here for J.D. Williams at first base. Long pause, and the 0-2 pitch is fouled off just behind the Royals dugout. Pompey steps back in. Williams takes his lead off first. Grieveson comes set. And another 0-2 pitch coming. That ball in the dirt. Low for ball 1. McGarry Doyle playing a little bit shallower than the right fielder, James Anderson. Runner goes, and that's flown into shallower left field. Now heading into foul territory, McGarry Doyle can't make the catch as it falls just in front of him. And the runner Williams will have to reset.
Great effort from Noel McGarry Doyle, working very traditional left field, and then got well into foul territory. Just missed that one by a step.
Pompey taking his time to return to the batter's box, and Grieveson looks in for the signs. Modest lead for Williams at first base, and the pitch coming. And it's in there for strike 3. Pompey down looking, as that will end a big 6th inning for the Guelph Royals. 4 runs on 5 hits as they take a 6-4 lead heading to the 7th. You're listening to Baycats Radio on Baycats TV.
Kyle Thomas back on the mound for the Guelph Royals. Baycats and the Royals both scored 4 in the 6th inning. And this game, it changed for a bit there, but now it's back to the way it was earlier in the game. 7th inning brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca. And Julius, to learn how you can help, you can take the mic and call the 7th inning.
Thank you, Patrick. That first pitch.
You don't actually literally have to take the mic. I can still hold it for you.
First pitch in there for a strike, and 0-1 pitch. Another strike taken by Dylan Shepard.
I'm just being clever. I like to tie it in and make it all sound nice, and then defeat the point entirely by explaining it.
I appreciate it. 6-4 Royals here in the top of the 7th. Pitch from Kyle Thomas. Just fouled into the dirt there by Dylan Shepard. Remains 0-2.
Royals took an early 2-0 lead. That was back in the second inning, and they essentially have a 2-0 lead now. It's 6-4 after both teams scored 4 in the 6th inning.
0-2 pitch inside and low. Now 1-2.
So the Baycats built themselves up a lead and now find themselves as if that inning had never happened.
Outfield playing a little bit shallow, and the 1-2 pitcher from Shepherd is outside, now 2-2.
But you know what you can say to that is, actually it did happen. We were seeing the ball well against Kyle Thomas. He's back out there. Let's continue to do that.
Thomas working quickly, and now a full count to Shepherd as that one is outside again.
And that's the mentality you have to have if you're the Barrie Baycats.
On the ground to second base. Morrow, easy play over to first, now 1 out.
Baycats fans, it's time to subscribe to the newsletter. Get reminders on Baycats game days and more, as well as the potential for exclusive rewards such as limited time wallpapers. Head to barriebaycats.com/newsletter to sign up for Inside the Dugout newsletter edition.
Looks like Kyle Thomas is working much quicker as he came into the game last inning with a runner on, and now nobody on as he comes into this inning. First pitch to Owen Jansen's a strike. Jansen 0 for 2 so far. Struck out in the third, grounded out to short last inning. Outside, now 1-1.
That was a free look at Kyle Thomas's windup. We talked about that earlier. When you throw non-competitive pitches early in an at-bat, it's a free look.
Outside again for ball 2. Thomas pitching out of the windup. Very simple delivery, just goes straight to lifting his leg up. Now ball 3 is that one's just a bit high. Outfield, again, playing a little bit shallower than they usually would. The 3-1 pitch. Fouled off to the screen.
Noel McGarry-Doyle is on deck.
Jansen steps out of the box. Full count now. Thomas comes set. Full count pitch. On the ground, and another similar play, and Morrow comes up with it, but Jansen beats it out. Very good play defensively by Morrow, just couldn't get the fast.
Another ridiculous play by Corey Morrow over there at second base. A very, very good defensive second baseman with so much range. And if Jansen wasn't hustling down the line, he would have been out. And Jansen's got good speed.
Very similar to the play we saw from Dylan Shepherd in the 5th inning.
If you're hitting it to second base, especially to the right side of where Morrow plays, watch out, because even if you don't think he's going to get there, you cannot let off the gas, because he's probably going to get there.
McGarry-Doyle flies that one just foul on the left side. I think in both those instances with Shepherd and with Owen Jansen just now, both those balls weren't very hit or weren't hit very hard. So speed easy enough for Corey Morrow, to pick up the ball on the ground, find its direction. 0-1 to Noel McGarry-Doyle. Swung on and missed. Now 0-2. Double play in order here for the Guelph Royals, with Owen Jansen on first base and 1 out.
Baycats obviously hoping to avoid that. They've got good speed on at first. Excellent speed at the plate.
On the ground is second. This could be 2, but bobbled by Corey Morrow, and everyone will be safe.
Same thing as in the last couple innings. Corey Morrow makes an excellent play. Looks like the best second baseman defensively I've ever seen, and then follows it up with a big error in a key spot.
That ball was hit hard right at him, and he had an easy play to start a double play, but he bobbled it on the transfer.
And now Kenice Ijo, who has 2 triples in 2 games with the Baycats, standing in a big spot with 2 on and only 1 out. You've got excellent speed at first, good speed at second base.
2 on, 1 out here for Ijo. fouled off the catcher's shin guards, and now 0-1.
It's funny, you don't hear the calls for ejection when the home team pitcher pitches inside by accident, do you?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Funny how that happens.
Ijo had a huge triple his last time up, second straight game with a triple. But he's only hit the ball game. He's 1 for 3. Inside corner there for strike 2.
That's a perfect pitch. Great location. Was not what the hitter was looking for. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes right back there and tries to challenge him. He's been pitching him inside throughout the at-bat, trying to jam him if he gets contact at all.
0-2 pitch. Inside, but off the plate. Now 1-2.
Inside again. Ijo's got a good eye. He's playing in the Frontier League last season. Had excellent numbers throughout last year.
2 on, 1 out. Ijo grounds it. Second base area. Morrow with a nice sliding play, and he's going to make that play over to first for the second out of the inning. Another fantastic defensive play. But now 2 runners in scoring position for the Baycats.
And that was good, Corey Morrow again.
Yes.
Back and forth so far, but another great play by Morrow. The flip side to that, with 2 outs, 2 good runners on in scoring position for Adam Odd, who has been the Baycats' hottest hitter.
Odd 1 for 2 with a walk, singled in the 6th inning his last time up, and scored.
Just about at the 2-hour, 20-minute point in this game.
Oh, Adam Odd not happy with that call. It was just a low strike.
Both teams have had batters unhappy with the strike zone, and I cannot say that their complaints have been unjustified.
Odd digs in as Kyle Thomas comes set. 2 runners on. Both in scoring position with 2 out. Center fielder shifts over more towards the right field side. On the ground, and that one's hit harder and in through to center field, and both runs are going to score. A game-tying single from Adam Odd, and it's a 6-6 ball game here in the 7th.
Adam Odd is red hot right now. 2 RBIs in the perfect situation once again for the Baycats after that moonshot on Thursday against the Royals. And the Baycats tie things up once again. They needed a big inning. They got a big inning.
Roy Sando steps in. I think we mentioned this earlier today and on Thursday's broadcast. Adam Odd really finding his confidence. First pitch swung on and missed. Second pitch swung on and missed. Now 0-2 to Roy Sando.
Royals have had a 2-run lead twice in this game heading into the next innings. And now the Baycats have tied it twice.
Dando has 2 singles today. Grounds that one foul third base side.
Now it's up to Brad Grieveson and the Baycats to hold the tie or hold the lead depending on how the rest of this inning goes.
Nobody throwing in the Barrie Baycats bullpen.
No, and Grieveson comes into a game and it's not the 9th inning. You can expect him to go 2 or 3 innings. He can be a bulk guy out there. I think it's the beard.
Beard power.
And the longer the beard gets, the more innings he can throw out of the bullpen.
Just a visualization of his stamina. Ball low, and Adam Odd's going to move up to second base as that gets through the catcher, Evan Ash. It's going to be a pass ball.
Yeah, that's pretty much the dictionary definition of a pass ball there. And I know it's a competition. I know you want to get all the different players into action, but you have to wonder, we've seen the excellent defense of Tony Herenque. If Herenque can block that, keep the runner at first.
1-2 pitch outside and low.
Granted, we've seen very short sample sizes, so I don't want to make big judgments about these catchers, but just based on what we've seen, the blocking has been excellent and good, respectively, from Herenque and Ash.
2-2 now to Roy Sando. 2 out, runner on second. And he swings and misses and strikes out to end the 7th, top of the 7th for the Baycats. But they tie the ball game. Adam Odd with a 2-run RBI single as we hit the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. Retakes the mound, and the first pitch is a ball to Noah Roberts. Grieveson working quickly. 1-0 pitch is lined over the head of Adamad into left center field. That's going to be a base hit for Roberts, his first in the ball game. Now up comes Evan Ash. It's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Both his strikeouts coming with Evan Souls on the mound for the Baycats. Slim lead for Roberts at first. Pitch from Grieveson. And shows bunt, and he bunts it back to the pitcher. Grieveson makes an easy play over to first. And a sacrifice for Evan Ash. Moves Roberts to second. 1 out.
Number 4, Julius.
As we mentioned, Baycats hoping to keep the score as is. They have not been able to keep the score when getting the tie or the lead so far. Hoping to change that this inning and try to get the lead back in the next half inning.
First pitch to Darius Barless outside for ball 1. Bit of a larger lead now for Roberts off second base, but Adamad keeping a sharp eye on him. The 1-0. Just low. It was over the plate, but just low. Now 2-0 to Darius Barless. Barless singled and scored his last time up. That was his second hit of the ball game. 2 for 3. That one just a bit higher than the last pitch, and now 2-1 on the outside corner there. Framed up nicely by Josh Cote. That one low again. 3-1 now. Grieveson set. Looks at the runner, makes his pitch. It's in there for strike 2, and now a full count.
Paul Ante, the first base coach, is where Darius Barless was looking after that pitch. Coaching third base is the manager, Dino Rommel.
Grieveson comes set. Bit of a slimmer lead for Roberts off second base. And the cut and a miss by Darius Barless. As Grieveson gets his second strikeout of the ball game.
And boy, as Corey Morrow had a up and down game, sometimes looking phenomenal defensively, sometimes not so much, couple of errors. I still think the good plays outweigh the bad because the good plays were so tremendous. At the plate so far, he has scored a run on a single, or ended up scoring a run on a play that started as a single. That was the 6th. He's also been hit by a pitch and walked.
Yeah, strong day for him at the plate. Nonetheless, he's reached all 3 times he's been up. 1 for 1. Swung on and missed. Now 0-2.
The heat from Brad Grieveson. That's the fastest pitch we've seen him throw this season.
Grieveson really not letting this inning get away from him. Runner on second with 2 out. Now an 0-2 count to Corey Morrow.
And being a veteran out there on the mound, he is not going to let a runner face him.
That ball high. Now 1-2.
Start of the season is not gone the way Grieveson wanted, but he's a pitch away from getting out of a tough inning and setting up the hitters in a tie game.
Trying to make sure the top of the order for the Royals doesn't get up here in the 7th. That one lined into right field, and James Anderson has to let it drop in front of him. Roberts rounding third. He will score, and the Royals retake the lead at 7-6.
The shortstop, number 5, Brando LaRue.
Top of the order coming up now for the Royals, as they're now up by 1.
Across the 2 games, Corey Morrow has now been on base 6 of 8 plate appearances.
And all 4 today, now 2 for 2. 2 singles, a walk, and a hit by pitch. As Brenda LaRue steps in, top of the order now for the Royals. Pitch from Grieveson. In there for a strike. Nice pitch to start off the at-bat. Short lead at first from Morrow. Pitch from Grieveson is inside. Evens up the count at 1-1. Gary Doyle in left playing a little bit shallow despite the right-handed hitter LaRue up. On the ground to third. Easy play from Victor Plaus to end the inning. It's Marcel Lacasse on the other end makes the play. 1 run for the Royals as they retake the lead. It's 7-6 after 7. You're listening to Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV.
Victor Plaus will lead things off in the 8th inning. It's brought to you by Expedia Cruises in Barrie, Air, Land, and Sea Vacations. Baycats hoping for a rally as the Royals took the lead once again in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Julius Hern, the Baycats, they really need to get something going now because it really will shift the momentum a lot if they can.
It really hurts the confidence to take the lead and give it up multiple times in a ball game.
Baycats back at it, by the way, tomorrow in Kitchener. Not that far away from David E. Hastings Stadium. That's on the ground to short. Over to first, and one quick out for Kyle Thomas. And that'll bring up Marcel Lacasse for his first at-bat. High-scoring game here, 7-6, Guelph in the lead over Barrie. It was 10-2, another high-scoring game on Thursday in favor of Barrie. But right now, Guelph, in a bit of revenge, have the lead on the Saturday afternoon rematch of the home-and-home. First pitch to Lacasse is a strike.
Lacasse went 0 for 4 with a walk on Thursday. Had 2 strikeouts.
Lacasse came in as a defensive replacement for the first baseman, Dom Maria. One of 2 defensive replacements Baycats have worked with today. That's in there. Strike 2.
Lacasse was the only member of the Baycats to get in the ball game, other than Victor Plaus, who didn't get in that bat. But Marcel Lacasse was the only one who didn't reach base.
Here's the 0-2. Left center field. Moving over. And under it is Ethan Hammond. 2 down. 2 quick outs for Kyle Thomas here in the 8th. That'll bring up James Anderson. The other defensive replacement the Baycats made last inning was Josh Cote in for Dylan Shepard. 2 young catchers
splitting playing time early this season. Similar situation to first base, where Josh Tibbetts and Dom Maria are splitting playing time. I think that's what the Royals are doing at catcher too, splitting time at catcher with a few different guys. First pitch outside to Anderson.
Anderson 0 for 3 so far this ball game. A couple groundouts and a pop out.
James Anderson is due. Here's the 1-0. Pops that one up. Morrow under it. He's got it. Claps the glove. Catches the ball, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Guelph Royals and Kyle Thomas on the mound. Heading to the bottom of the 8th inning, Royals will take back to the batter's box against Brad Grieveson. You're listening to Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. Brad Grieveson done his warm-up tosses. And you hear it from Bruce Barker. Ethan Hammond will lead off the inning. That means the heart of the order for the Guelph Royals, Hammond, then Williams, and Interessano. 2 of 3 have scored a run today. And then if you go one lower, Tristan Pompey has also scored.
Ethan Hammond his last time of a massive bases clearing double.
3 RBI added to Hammond's season total. He's also got a couple of stolen bases today. Good day for him. First pitch from Grieveson was a ball. Second one also a ball. As I just accept what the strike zone is at this point.
It's been quite inconsistent throughout this game for both teams.
It sure has. Up the middle, that's a base hit for Hammond. He's been on base thrice in the last 4 innings. And that'll bring up J.D. Williams. And the Baycats hoping for a double play situation. This game is still extremely close, a 1-run game. And if they can keep it to a 1-run game, it gives them a good opportunity in the top of the 9th to try and get at least one and either take the lead or try to send this game into extra innings.
J.D. Williams, 1 for 4 so far, 3 strikeouts.
Right field from Williams, that's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Hammond around second. Hammond will stop at third. It's a double for J.D. Williams. Royals hitters halfway to the cycle here in the 8th.
Designated hitter number 24, Justin Interessano.
So that'll bring up Interessano. 2 runners in scoring position for him as the Royals try to put this one out of reach in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Some action in the Barrie Baycats bullpen as Grieveson starts out this inning.
Get the
with a little bit of a
binoculars. You've got them?
struggle. I got them.
All right. Who are we seeing? While we wait for that.
Looks like Brandon Hillier.
Okay. Interessano in the batter's box. Grieveson throws. That is hit to left center field. Moving over is Asho. Also McGarry Doyle as it drifts more into left field. Runner tagging from third. He'll think better of that. McGarry Doyle's got a good arm in left. It is the first out of the inning.
Fielder, number 17, Tristan Pompey.
And I can't tell you how big it would be for the Baycats if they somehow got out of this inning without allowing a run.
To be able to keep this game close, it's only a one-run game. It feels...
And they are intentionally walking Tristan Pompey to set up a double play situation. Noah Roberts will take his place in the batter's box.
I don't hate this move. I like being able to continue having a force play in play.
I like it too. Base is loaded, but you set up the force play with only one out and a potential double play. Noah Roberts, who has popped out, struck out twice, and singled, ended up scoring. Worth noting, he was very unhappy with one of those strike three calls, and we all heard about it. Pitch from Brad. Outside, no, that'll get the zone. I just need to stop guessing. It's not that it's been one-sided. It's been an experience.
Yes.
Calling this strike zone tonight. Here's the 0-1. And if I'm feeling that way, imagine what the pitchers are feeling. I almost said fielders were feeling. I don't think the fielders care that much. The pitchers certainly do, though. Count 0-2.
Can confirm Brandon Hillier up in the Barrie Baycats bullpen.
Thank you very much, Julius. No balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes from Grieveson. That's up high. One and 2, and calling time is Noah Roberts.
Roberts coming into this at bat, 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 7th inning, and a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd. 2 strikeouts in the 3rd and 5th.
1 and 2, and that's outside. Count now even at 2. Fans cheering for Noah Roberts. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, bases are loaded. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I'm surprised to see the outfield playing as shallow as they are.
On the ground, left side, foul.
I believe, I would have the outfield play no doubles defense in this situation. You don't want this game to get too far out of hand. You're already down by 1. You don't want to make it harder for yourself to catch up.
As it stands, the Baycats will be down by a run heading into the top of the 9th inning. But the Royals are challenging. Best speed at second base. Here's the 2-2. Got him. A big strikeout there. 2 out. And now Evan Ash will stand in.
That's Noah Roberts' 3rd strikeout of this ball game. There have been strikeouts all over the scorecard for the Guelph Royals across 3 different pitchers for the Baycats.
Grieveson stares in. Now just 1 out away from getting out of this inning without allowing a run. That would be massive for the Baycats. Big swing and a miss from Evan Ash. 0-1.
12 strikeouts today for the Guelph Royals as a team.
That's a lot. Say what you want about whether Souls and Nunez were effective as a whole today. They generated strikeouts throughout their outings, and Grieveson has as well. I think Souls pitched better than his line would suggest.
I agree.
Here's his 0-1. And that's a strike. 0-2.
There are going to be those outings where you're just going to give up hits. Sometimes the stuff
A
doesn't
couple
totally
of
work.
bloops in a row, and your line score suddenly looks a lot worse. There's not much you can do about that, because what you want when it comes to contact is that weak contact. Here's the 0-2. Grieveson looks back at the runner, now comes home, and that's fouled away. We'll do it again.
If I had to say, I think this might be Grieveson's last batter.
I think that's a good point. Either way.
Whether he can get out of this inning or...
Hillier looks about ready in the bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And
And that's in the dirt. Ball 1. And he had a pitch to waste there. Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon on Baycats Radio. Keep you updated for coverage throughout tomorrow's game. Baycats face off against the Kitchener Panthers. That goes tomorrow afternoon. Then the Baycats are off for a few days. Back at home to face off against the Welland Jackfish. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hit off the end of the bat, foul right side. And they're certainly getting the pitch count up for Brad Grieveson. I think you're right. I think this is his last hitter.
Either he gets out of this inning or runs, or one or multiple runs will score.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Grieveson kicks, fires. Strike 3 called. Grieveson gets out of the inning after loading the bases without allowing a run. And the Baycats, only down by 1, will have a chance to hit. Baycats Radio, only on Baycats TV. Welcome back. Josh Cote to take to the batter's box in the top of the 9th inning here at David E. Hastings Stadium. 9th inning brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Air, land, and sea vacations. One last chance for the Baycats. They have 3 outs to work with, and they need to score at least 1 run. Cote to right field. Not super deep. Pompey moving to his left, and he can't handle it. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Up to second goes Cote, and the tying run is in scoring position to lead off the inning for the Barrie Baycats here in the 9th inning.
Josh Cote, that was his first plate appearance in the ballgame, and that was a well-hit ball to right field, and I think the wind might have got a hold of that ball. It was just drifting further and further toward the right field line. And I think as far as Pompey kept going towards the line, he just didn't have a beat on it, and it just fell right in front of him.
Bottom of the order, Owen Jansen. Reverse leadoff guy in a sense for the Baycats with a runner in scoring position. He was an all-star last year. has the potential for a big moment here. Pitch from the Guelph Royals pitcher Kyle Thomas, still in the game after relieving Sandy Baez, is down and away, ball one.
It's exactly what the Baycats needed to start off this ninth inning, an extra base hit. Get a runner in scoring position right away. See if the momentum carries them.
Here's the 1-0, and that's low. 2-0.
Owen Jansen 1 for 3 with a single in the 7th inning. He scored in the 7th inning.
Cote's got average speed at second base. Here's the 2-0. Right back at us. That would have been a souvenir. Of course, as with many IBL parks, you catch a foul ball in this park, you're asked to exchange it. I believe the prize here is a freezie of your preferred flavor. Because it'd be kind of mean if they were to force a freezie flavor on you. Catch a foul ball and they're going like, okay, you're getting blueberry. That's what you're getting. 2-1. Right field and crushed. Is it going to stay fair? No. Jansen just missed it.
He got all of that one. That would have been out in a hurry, but just right of that right field foul pole.
Counting at 2-2. He didn't miss that one by much. Maybe the key is me talking about freezy flavors before I pitch. I don't think that's the key.
Center fielder shifted over into a little bit of the left field part of center field on that side of second base.
Here's the 2-2. Jansen to right, and he twists that one foul again. That one would not have gotten out, but it could have been extra bases if it was just a little more fair. By the way, the Lions probably could have brought this up earlier, but it seems relevant now. 325 to both corners, 369 to center field. Right center field is 393. Left center field is 397.
So the power alleys really showing themselves as power alleys, far deeper than the center field wall straight away.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Thomas. Got him. Jansen goes down swinging, one away.
That's a huge strikeout from Thomas. That was a real battle of an at-bat with Jansen crushing some balls foul on the right field line.
Noel has singled and scored each of his last 2 at-bats. All the Baycats need is the one to tie this game and send it to at least the bottom of the 9th inning and potentially extra innings. Down 7-6 right now. First pitch is almost a pitch out. Worried about Cote at second base.
Well, Cote's getting a great secondary lead upon the delivery of Kyle Thomas's pitches. He's being cautious getting his primary lead off second base with the shortstop LaRue keeping an eye on him.
Left field from Noel McGarry Doyle. Going back is Hammond at the wall, and it's gone! Noel McGarry Doyle goes deep in the 9th inning. What a shot! A 2-run home run, and the Baycats take the lead.
Perfect situation there for the Baycats. Noel McGarry Doyle got all of that ball, and seemed like the left fielder Hammond thought that ball wasn't going to get out, but he was expecting to get it off the wall, and that one just got over the fence.
And now it's Brandon Hillier's moment in the bottom of the 9th inning. Can he keep the lead for the Barrie Baycats? Here's Kenise Ijo. Baycats have the lead, 8-7, thanks to a 2-run home run from Noel McGarry Doyle. Ijo pops it up right side. Moving over is the first baseman, Roberts, and he makes the catch in foul territory. That's the second out.
Shortstop, number 26, Adam Odd.
Just from our vantage point here, that home run was a massive boost for that Barrie dugout. Everyone now standing. Seemed like a very somber environment coming into this 9th inning, being down 7-6, but now being up 8-7. Everyone's up and ready to go in that Barrie dugout.
Now here's the red-hot Adam Odd, 2 RBI in his last at-bat. He has a couple of singles today, up the middle on a couple of bounces off Thomas's hand. Goes to the shortstop. LaRue throws on to first, and they get the out. to retire the side. But the Baycats add 2 thanks to Noel McGarry Doyle's 2-run home run. They'll try to keep the lead and win the game in the bottom of the 9th inning. We'll see you in a moment. Baycats Radio on Baycats TV.
I just feel like
Welcome back, bottom of the 9th inning here on Barrie Baycats TV and Baycats Radio. Thanks for hanging out with us all afternoon long. Darius Barless will lead things off, then Corey Morrow and Brando LaRue. And Julius Hern, they'll be facing off against Brandon Hillier.
Brandon Hillier has been very stalwart part of that Barrie Baycats bullpen. This will be the first save situation of the season for any of the pitchers on the Barrie Baycats staff.
First pitch from Hillier is a strike to Barless. Barless, 2 for 4 today, has a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs, but he also has a couple of strikeouts.
Hillier's had a strong start to the season. Victor Plaza at third base playing in, fielding the bunt.
Count now 0-2. Heard the strike call from the home plate umpire, Stephen Domes.
As I say, that Plaza moves back now that there's no 2 count.
Pitch from Hillier. And that's up high.
Hillier's had a strong start to this season. Only had a couple appearances, but been very strong in each of those.
Baycats are comfortable using any of Grieveson, Chris Cox, or Brandon Hillier as a closer. Here's the 1-2. Count now 2-2 as the pitch was outside. Baycats wanted it.
Hillier walked off the mound there as if he struck him out looking, and he was surprised to see that Cote was throwing the ball back to him.
Well, that's what happens when a pitch is called a strike for the majority of the game and then it's not in a key situation. Just saying. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that is strike 3. Hillier got it. 1 out.
Second baseman, number 3, Corey Morrow.
And now the red-hot Corey Morrow has been on base all 4 times. And I know it's bringing up the top of the order if you do this, but you almost wonder if the intentional walk is in play, just because Morrow has looked so good at the plate.
I wouldn't, because you have 1 out. And even if he gets a single, you're still keeping the double play in order with the LaRue coming up.
Pitch from Brandon Hillier. There's a strike.
Because
Royals fans don't like it, and that's mostly because that was called a ball in the last at-bats.
Even with Morrow, getting on every time this game. He hasn't shown a ton of power.
That's a ball.
So you're not really afraid of extra bases or a home run.
Can't 1-1. And I do apologize if it feels like we're talking about the umpiring a lot, but I feel like context is required as that's outside. Context is required for some of these reactions from the players and the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been all over the place all game, and I think on both sides there have been negative reactions.
Once it becomes the story, you kind of have to talk about it. That's a big swing and a miss. Count out even at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Baycats holding on to an 8-7 lead here. That again, thanks to Noel McGarry Doyle's big 2-run home run in the top half of the inning. Swing and a miss. Morrow down on strikes. 2 strikeouts for Hillier, and the Baycats have got the Royals down to their final out.
That's the first time Morrow hasn't been able to reach in this ball game. He's reached all 4 times before that plate appearance. 2 singles, a walk, and a hit by pitch. And there's a strikeout. That's going to make him make his day 2 for 3. Excuse me.
So now Brando LaRue represents the last chance for the Guelph Royals. And that got him. A hit by pitch. I was going to say inside, but it did just get him on the side area, and it'll be a base runner. Brando LaRue takes first base here in the ninth.
Very little reaction there from Brando LaRue on that hit by pitch. That's probably why it was very confusing, but the umpire saw it right away and called time.
So now Ethan Hammond in a key situation. And this is a guy you did not want to see come up.
Winning run at the plate now with the runner on first. But 2 outs here. Hillier's got a lot of work to do still.
Hillier's pitch. Inside, ball 1. Both team benches are tense right now.
Everybody up in the Baycats dugout.
Pitch from Brandon. Big cut on and a foul tip into the glove. It's a strike. Count even at 1. J.D. Williams in the on-deck circle. He would be next. Here's the 1-1. Popped up. Ando back. Ando under it. Baycats win it. They come from behind and win it 8-7 in a wonderful game for the Barrie Baycats as it all wraps up. And it's mostly thanks, Julius, to Noel McGarry Doyle's big home run in the 9th inning, and then Brandon Hillier closing it down.
Yeah, Noel McGarry Doyle with a massive home run. He had 3 runs scored, including that home run in the top of the 9th inning. But a very well performed game all around for the Baycats. Very boost of confidence again for them to be able to come back from 3 different deficits and come out on top in this game. That's going to be a great sign for things to come for this baseball team.
All right, Julius, thank you so much. We'll hear from you again in a future broadcast along with myself and or Ben Davey. Final score today, Baycats 8, Royals 7, as the Baycats take both games with a home-and-home against the Guelph Royals. We'll have the post-game recap for you on BarrieBaycats.com. Thanks to Sam Aucoin. For Julius Hern, Sam Aucoin, I'm Patrick Melbourne. Thanks so much for listening to Baycats Radio. Have a fantastic rest of your day.